Appreciate that.
And what are you doing?
We're here for a sort of live enjoyment of a bit of totally interesting transfer stories. And we've got someone very special in a transfer sandwich. It's our salty beef. It's Sam.
I thought it was a ham.
Ham. Whatever you need. Whatever.
Sam the ham.
I'd rather be the bread, but I'm the ham.
So we're going to be talking about Lukaku. We've got news on Philippe Coutinho and possible move. We're going to be talking about West Ham and the fact that they get linked with every striker under the sun. And we've got a little bit of Spurs stuff as well.
Really?
This is the most action that you've got, this story that we're going to be talking about. So if you've got any stories or any players that you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments. I've got the chat right in front of me.
Why are you sweating?
I'm sweating because it's hot.
Not because there's too many men in here.
Not because there's too many men in here. No.
It's tight, the free man.
I've told you before, you're on the outside, you have ventilation. There's nothing. Heat.
Yeah, nothing more.
Heat.
Okay, let's kick off. Lukaku, the big story of the day. Everyone thought he was going to Chelsea. Everyone thought that deal was completely done.
Yeah.
Turns out it's not.
Even Craig earlier was like, yeah, we're going to announce 4 or 5 players all at once because of the night deal. Lukaku's one of them. And that never happened.
Yeah, it's still very, very quiet. That's a good point. S. Perry, talk about Romario. We can talk about Romario at the end of this video as well, who has signed for a football club. That is a fact. That isn't clickbait. That is a fact. But back to Lukaku. Lukaku, the second best striker that we'll be talking about in this video. We thought he was going to Chelsea. I certainly didn't think he would go to Man United. No. Mainly because of the fact of the problems that he'd had with Mourinho in the past. Are you surprised by this transfer?
I'm not surprised that we've signed Lukaku, but I am in the context of this summer because we were after Alvaro Morata and that looked like it was going to be a done deal. But Real Madrid tried too hard to get too much money out of us, and it seems the whole time that was going on, Ed Woodward in the background has been negotiating with Lukaku, and now we've announced it with Rooney looking like he's going the other direction.
Like a little woodworm.
Yeah,
just burrowing his way through.
That's what they all are. Raiola, Mendes.
What do you think of the price? Because Morata was mooted around 80.
Loves that word.
81.
Get your transferisms in the chat, and also another question for you in the chat. 75 million, is that too much? But yeah, back to your mooted story stuff. Sorry. 85
million for Morata. Was that ever really close, or was it just paper talk?
No, because I've followed it intensely because it's what I do. And it was exhausting, and it's gone from 50 to 60 to 70 to 75 million euros, and Real Madrid were just being greedy.
All right, so I've got another question for you. Who would you rather have, Morata or Lukaku?
Morata.
What? No, what are you talking about?
I said because of how, for United style, Morata would have brought more straight away, but he wouldn't have been proven in the Premier League. Lukaku is going to be like an out-and-out striker, and it means no.
All right.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Sorry.
I think Lukaku will end up scoring like 20, 30 goals for us, but the last 3 weeks I've just mentally got myself excited about Morata. So I built him up to this point, and now I'm just a bit confused. And I'm getting off the Morata pedestal, and I've got to talk about Lukaku a bit.
Jumping on the Lukaku.
So I'm in transition at the moment.
A very good point that the guys are saying on here is that it's not actually official yet.
No, it's not official.
Is there any way that this story or this transfer could be so widespread and then not go through?
No. Well, basically, there's two lines. There's two lines of communication coming out of this Lukaku deal. On the one hand, United are briefing to the press. The deal is that with the fee is agreed. On the other hand, Everton are saying it's not, because in an ideal world, Chelsea will then come back over the top. They get 10 million more for Lukaku. They win.
I mean, you generally at this stage, that part of the transfer has been done. The bidding wars, all that kind. Chelsea are not going to come in at this moment and go, all right, here's 80 million quid. I can't see that at all. But today, earlier, Atletico Madrid are somehow going back in for Costa, despite them having a transfer ban. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, that seems really strange.
Did you see the stories earlier?
Yeah, but it just means he can't play for them until January. It's the same thing as Arda Turan when he signed for Barcelona. He just trained for
positive comment says Lukaku is better than Morata.
Yes, absolutely.
Without question.
100%.
Do you agree with that? Write down Morata or Lukaku.
Well, we've all certainly seen more. We've all certainly seen more of Lukaku, but from United fans' perspective, he's been pretty pony against United. He's been pocketed by Blind. He's been pocketed by Blind and McNair. Like every time he's played against United, he's been pretty poor. Yeah. And as fans, they're the only games you watch 90 minutes of, and then you can only watch Match of the Day and see the goals that he scores against other teams. But clearly, if Mourinho is willing to rebuy him. And the same concept as Juan Mata, and Juan Mata was great for us last season. He obviously sees something. Which isn't very hard to see.
Right, so he was poor against Man United, but you buy him and that takes away that problem. He doesn't have to play Man United anymore.
Brilliant.
He scored 27 goals, right?
25.
25. He would have been top goal scorer if it wasn't for Harry Kane scoring 9 goals in his last 2 games or whatever. So that insanity that happened.
Yeah.
You're buying you can't. It's so difficult to score goals in the Premier League. To come in from another league like Lacazette, perhaps is going to struggle with. We've seen it time and time again where players are coming in and struggling in the Premier League. Morata, there's no guarantee, and if he's going to cost more money than Lukaku, it just seems common sense to get Lukaku in.
I'm completely and utterly happy with Lukaku joining Manchester United. It's just that I had my mind set on Morata for a fixed period of time, and now that's pushed to the side.
Like when you go out for something to eat and you
Nathan L.
Yeah,
whoa.
Well, sorry. I thought you'd finished.
You had a great little story there.
No, it's all right, do you know?
Carry on.
What's Nathan have to say?
It wasn't that great anyway. Nathan L11 says something that we hear a lot about when it comes to Lukaku is that he needs to turn up in the big games. Is that your one worry if you do sign him?
I think last year he scored 2 goals against the top 6 in all the games that he played. He was more of a mid-table merchant scoring hat-tricks against West Broms and
Sorry, I just read a comment.
Was it a good one? Well, we may as well stop it now.
Anonymous, James is beautiful all over, knees included. I've been getting a lot of jip for my knees. So
there's my knee. What do you reckon
about
that?
If I'm honest.
That particular knee is quite nice.
Do we talk about football, please, lads?
Yes.
Yeah. Football show.
Aye, football. No, look. Lukaku, he scored 25 goals in an Everton side, which was better than normal, and Everton's definitely on the up, but he's coming into a United team with Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Mata, Martial, Rashford. He's going to be getting a hell of a lot more chances in better positions. If he can score 25 like that, he should be able to technically score 30 next season.
The thing with this move is there's 2 things. It's like a little threesome of transfer activity. Firstly, you've got the Rooney move to Everton, which we'd heard about before the Lukaku thing to Man United. It really became a proper story as it has done today. It looks like that's happening. They're saying that those 2 deals are completely separate. I'm not buying that. Are you?
No.
I mean, technically they are. You know, there's not going to be a swap deal.
Yeah.
So in that instance, they are separate deals. But there's no way that they say, well, come on, if we tickle your balls with Wayne Rooney, you've got to tickle our...
get away from me.
You've got to tickle our balls with big Romelu Lukaku. And that's you know, these things, you know, you scratch our back, we scratch yours. I don't see Rooney going...
Scratching going on.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now.
I don't see
slightly more comfortable now, actually.
I don't see Rooney going into Everton as even nearly a replacement for Lukaku. No, I mean, it'd be good because it's an old hero and it's romantic, but in terms of a functional...
No, I think Rooney will turn it on next year at Everton. I think he's just...
You're kidding me.
No.
How can you say that?
You spent the whole year... Rooney's get out of my football club. You're a disgrace to Man United.
Lies.
I hate you personally.
Lies. Also lies. No, just Rooney lost his fire at United. I think he'll regain that for a couple of years.
Find his fire.
Record goal scorer.
Yeah, he is.
England's record goal scorer, and you dig him out the way. You Man United
You dig him out as well.
You're a disgrace. Yeah.
You dig him out.
He's not my player.
Oh, that's fine. You're allowed to then, right?
Yeah, of course I am.
Cool.
Everton fans, let us know in the chat, if you do sign Rooney, 1, are you excited about it? 2, do you see him playing attacking midfield? Do you see him playing straight up front? Or do you see him playing centre midfield like he did at certain times for Man United? A lot of people feel like he's lost that pace. So do you think he might do a better job in midfield? Let us know. Right, let's
move on from Man United.
Yeah, well, the last little thing on that story is the fact that everyone thought that Chelsea were getting Lukaku. So is this a massive dent in their potential for winning the league again next season? If Costa looks like he's going to go after all that's happened and you're not getting Lukaku, who's the guy that you expected to get?
Well, it just means they've got to look elsewhere. I think maybe they'll go for Morata now, but they'll definitely need a striker because Costa is either leaving or he's just going to be upset at being at Chelsea still. Yeah. And I don't know who else they can go for in the market, really.
They can. There's plenty of time for them to sign another striker.
They definitely need to find one, though.
I don't know who that might be at the moment.
Quick one, just because it's in the chat and I've done a bit of reading myself on it. Iborra to Leicester. He's a Sevilla midfielder. He's nearly 6'4", so he's a big lad. They're buying him for. So there's a few different numbers being thrown around. One saying it's an undisclosed fee, but some are saying 10.5 million. Others are saying 12 million. Other people are saying 11 million. So it's around that kind of ballpark. He was a substitute 20 times, came on as a substitute 22 times last season, only started 10 games despite being captain for Sevilla. So for Leicester, the way that it costs the amount of it costs for players these days, he's a guy with a bit of pedigree there. Being a captain of Sevilla is a good thing. I don't think he's going to blow anyone away, but I think it's an okay signing for them. You grow up.
Slightly interesting transfer story there.
10 million. What is 10 million cost? Is the price of a squad player? He's a squad player. What's the boss?
Yeah, true. It'd be interesting to see if Ndidi plays.
Indeed.
Nice. Or if he plays instead. Just to say, there's a little effort to get some likes for this video because the more engagement, the better. Well, I'm not going to show my tits, Craig. Is that what you're saying? No, that's not what I meant.
On.
What I was going to... No, don't
just
do
one.
it.
Just one.
Don't flick them.
I will flick them.
You and you're scratching.
Just show.
No.
500 likes.
500 likes, he gets his top off.
500 likes. No.
He gets his top off.
Yeah.
I was going to say 500 likes. If we can get to 500 likes, we'll talk about Romario.
Oh no,
we'll give you more
your top
insight.
off.
We're going to talk about Romario
top
anyway.
off. 500 likes, top off. And what we should say is when we're asking for likes, it's not because we're like it's about our ego. It ain't about that. I promise you. In order to do this and help it get boosted up the algorithm, actually show the people that keep the lights on in this place that we're actually doing a good job.
Yeah, they keep the streams running smoothly.
Yeah. Because and that's just genuinely how it works for YouTube. We didn't make the rules; those are the rules. I mean,
We're just abiding by them.
Yeah.
So yeah, get involved, do the likes. We'll see. We'll see. I'll make that call when we get to 500 likes.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to
But
it.
trust that we'll be able to bully him into it.
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to
Just
move on to
undressing
West Ham
violently.
now. Sam, are you sticking around?
Preferably not.
Go on, fuck
I
off.
was only joking.
Stick around.
All right, sorry.
All right, West Ham.
I went too early, sorry.
West Ham news, West Ham transfer news. As you will have been aware if you've been a football fan over the last 3 or 4 seasons, if there is a striker who's decent, but the big teams don't seem to want anymore, he will be linked with West Ham. And this season's no different.
Yeah.
We spoke with Nicky earlier in the week. There's a social club that you can check out with Nicky and Paul chatting about West Ham's transfer targets. One of which is Walcott, one of which is Giroud. There's 2 more that have turned up. But firstly, what do you think about those 2? Do you think that those could happen?
I think Giroud's an ideal signing for West Ham. It'd be a bit of a coup actually because
transferism.
Giroud is a top draw striker. You know, he keeps Lacazette out of the French team. He has been fantastic for Arsenal, in my opinion. Hang on, he has been successful for Arsenal. It's just that the pressure to play at a club like Arsenal, given the type of fan base that they have, it's difficult. You know, the minute you start performing in a way that they don't see as acceptable, but is acceptable for the vast majority of professional footballers, it means that you're in an untenable position at Arsenal. So if he goes to West Ham, I think if he sorts his face out, you know, all that male grooming bollocks he's well into.
You wish you had the depth of his beard.
Do you think you'd be a great scout, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No.
Looks
He's
like
grooming
a
way
ponce.
too much.
Looks like a ponce. Don't sign him. But no, as you know, we've seen his ability to pull out the unexpected with the flick goal he scored the last season. But generally, his all-round class as a footballer, perfect signing for West Ham. Definitely should go all out to get him. I think he'll probably stay at Arsenal for another year.
Yeah, I think he's expressed his loyalty to Arsenal, so it looks like he wants to stick around there for another year.
On a lot of dough.
He's probably on a lot of dough, yeah. Walcott's the other one that he's linked with. I would like to see Walcott go there, just because I'd like to see him be the main striker at a team. And I think if you had Carroll and him, there might be something quite exciting there.
Well, Everton getting linked to Giroud as well. And if I'm Giroud looking at West Ham and Everton as 2 clubs to join this summer, absolutely, I'm joining.
I think Giroud guarantee 15 goals for Everton and maybe slightly less for West Ham.
Yeah. At least I think he generally probably does stay. He's fitter than Andy Carroll, but literally and
he's also
as a footballer. Yeah. Another player who's linked with West Ham and with Everton, but a bit more strongly with West Ham, is Andre Gray, who played for Brentford. I saw him a few times for Brentford. Burnley last season, had a great season when they got up. Last season he had 20 odd games, 26 games, 26 starts, 9 goals, 3 assists, which isn't too bad, especially for a team like Burnley who didn't score many goals at all. I feel like this would be a really good signing for West Ham. I think he's exactly what they need. I think he's got the pace to go in behind. His feet are quite good. He's good at holding up the ball as well. I think he's one that if you've got Andy Carroll and you only want to play one up front, then he'd be okay with being on the bench now and again. Whereas sometimes you can get too many kind of stars and you can't fit them all in. And Andy Carroll, as much as he gets injured a lot, is very effective for them. So I feel like the Andre Gray move would be one that would work well for them. It'd be interesting to see how much that would cost, because if Burnley lose him, in terms of strikers, I think they're going to be struggling. So they'd want a lot of money from him. Everton apparently sniffing around as well.
Yeah.
Do you think there's there's any striker that you would find that wouldn't suit West Ham. Like, because Andre Gay, I think, oh yeah, he'd be a good signing. Giroud, be a top class signing for West Ham. It's just that they just need a striker. So anybody. Well, they've been linked to.
I don't think he'd be a good.
Doing all right though, Valencia. Sorry, yeah.
Really? Is it? Really?
I think so.
Another one, the last one that they've been linked with in the papers today is Iheanacho. Yeah.
Now.
Do you remember him?
Now we're talking.
He'd be great for West Ham.
Look, I'd take him at Tottenham. That's definitely as a backup to Harry Kane. It's been so impressive. He's never going to get his
I don't know why Guardiola's frozen him out completely at Man City.
He doesn't need him. He can buy anyone. He can buy 5 times the player.
They bought Gabriel Jesus, and then he sort of like stunned him to the sideline.
So you can understand it because they've got Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, no, but just this bit. He was tearing it up before he came in.
So it's him and Rashford.
Would you be happy if it was just him and Rashford up front at United? You wouldn't.
No, that's 2 teenagers.
So right. So I'd take it in Iheanacho at Tottenham 100%. And if I was West Ham at their level of redevelopment and rebuilding, I think he could start at West Ham also.
It'd be interesting to know what you guys think in the comments here. Has he been let down a bit by Guardiola? He scored 21 goals 2 seasons ago. Last season he had 5 starts.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't been let down.
He's clearly an exciting player.
What's Guardiola's job? Guardiola's job is to get as many wins as possible.
What did Man City do last season? Nothing. There's your answer. Didn't win anything.
No, there is no letting down in football. He's not his best mate. He's not his son.
No, but when you're a young player, you need development. You need game time. You score 21 goals. You would expect to start a fair amount of games the next season.
No. It isn't Guardiola's job to develop Iheanacho. He would develop him if that is going to end up.
Pretty sure that's probably part of his job.
If it results in wins for Man City, then yes. If he's going to get better results by signing Gabriel Jesus, then that's what he's going to do. Do you feel sorry for Iheanacho? You actually sit there and...
I do a little bit, because he's clearly decent.
Yeah. You pair of fairies.
Nice.
I feel sorry for... You feel sorry for this guy?
No?
You make me sick.
Okay, but you would like to see him at Spurs?
Yeah. I'd love to see him at Spurs. He could be properly developed under Pochettino.
A couple of names, and it's almost like a trivia question. Who else should be linked with West Ham? Javi Hernandez would be a good one.
He'd be a great signing.
Nicky chats about, and also there was another one which I can't spot.
Giuseppe Rossi, that'll come.
Oh, Lucas Perez as well from Arsenal. I was saying might be a good shout as well. Not getting obviously any game time, and I reckon West Ham must be able to put away some decent wages. Next up, Tottenham news. Exciting times.
I literally don't know.
So much going on.
I literally don't know what you're going to say.
So when we do these transfer shows, obviously we head to the internet. We go, what are people talking about? Where's the gossip? I went onto ESPN, and I was thinking, come on, bit of Spurs stuff, a little bit for Flav to get excited about, and here it is.
What?
Okay, Gylfi Sigurdsson to Tottenham Hotspur. Social media. So this is the article from ESPN. Social media is a tricky place. A wrong word, bad timing, and a lack of thoughtfulness can do a lot of damage. On Tuesday, Tottenham Hotspur released a video to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of London club signing Gylfi Sigurdsson.
I know what you're talking about.
That's sparking rumours that a pending deal to see the Iceland midfielder to come back to Spurs. 27-year-old transfer target of Everton, but Pochettino will face a battle to re-sign him. Exciting times.
No.
That's done, innit?
He's complaining about spending weeks talking about Ronaldo, Morata. Who else have you had to talk about?
Too many people. Perisic as well.
Perisic. I've got because Spurs did a kind thing by recognising the fact that Sigurdsson played for us once, and here's some of his good goals. That's our rumour. Come on, man. I actually prefer. I mean, there was a time where I actually hated the amount of players that we linked with because you thought we're never going to get them. I'm just craving anything currently.
Really?
Yeah, I really am.
No, I thought Pochettino said he sort of regretted selling Sigurdsson.
Yeah. When?
I'm sure I read that at some point in the last 5 years.
He wouldn't get into our first team.
But
I mean, his squad depth.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you want then? Do you want players who are going to
get into our first team?
Right. You don't want any squad players?
No, I do.
You want to get someone into that first
team? Do you know
what?
I'd take him right now because I've had nothing else to talk about. Yeah, I'll take him. Why
not? You just want to see a picture of a person in their mid-20s holding a scarf up.
That isn't signing a new contract. I'm sick of our players signing new contracts.
Yeah.
I only want brand new signings. Yeah,
that's what you want. That's what
you got a pen. You got a pen.
I've got a shake then.
No,
is it that end?
Leave it. Just leave it. So yeah, not much happening with Spurs, unfortunately. But look, guys, a little sort of word of comfort here. These transfers are going to run and run because there's no major tournament this year. Yes, of course, you've got the Fan League Cup, which you can enjoy exclusively on Bull Street.
With Romario, by the way.
With Romario, which we might talk about if we get enough likes. But normally you wouldn't even be talking about transfers yet. You'd wait till July 10th when all the major tournaments are done, and then you start talking about it. Right. So don't panic, Spurs fans, is what I'm saying.
But everyone else is buying players. 2 months. We literally got 2 months.
How many players? You've been one before the season starts. We started with the same first 11 for the last 2 years running.
Yeah, and you finished
more or less.
You've done quite well.
How many QPR?
Stability, that's what you've got.
Yeah, I know, it's just not as exciting. I want the days when we sold Bow and signed 7 players I'd never heard of, pretty much. Those were exciting days, let me tell you.
Right, last one, Flav.
Let me tell you, boy.
Last one, Sam. Philippe Coutinho.
What is this?
A name.
This is probably absolute nonsense, but let's talk about it.
Probably, definitely.
Probably not
Philippe Coutinho to Paris Saint-Germain. Well, look, we need to be honest with these people. That's the point.
We'll be honest after we've done the clickbait stuff.
So he's obviously been a lot of talk about Coutinho, long-term transfer target of Barcelona. But apparently that's not going to happen because Liverpool said it's going to cost 87 million. Le Ten Sport in France, they think that Paris Saint-Germain, Paris Saint-Germain, which is French,
all over the place,
will test the waters, transferism, with an opening bid of 70 million, which begs the question, firstly, from you two, I want an answer, how much is Coutinho worth?
When did he last sign his contract?
I'll tell you that in a minute. How much is he worth?
Current market, 70 million. I think that's fair.
75, 80.
Yeah.
75, 80, okay. He signed a deal in January until 2022.
I mean...
How much is he worth now?
His value... I mean, whatever Liverpool want and whatever someone's willing to pay. It's not about his value.
Yeah, it's not at all.
So if PSG really want him, you know how much money they're Abu Dhabi rich.
SS says Liverpool are a small club. They have to sell Coutinho. They need the money.
I agree with that. Who said that? Can you up like his comment? No, I'm new to this. So I think Coutinho. If PSG want him, then you're talking about 130 million. Again, he's not worth that.
130 million.
Do you have to react like that? Like makes me look stupid in front of my pals?
I'm just questioning.
£130 million because Liverpool do not have to sell. They do not want to sell. He can't force his way out of the club.
Well, you could put in a transfer request.
£130 million. Are we done?
Sam, you know big money transfers. You talk about them every day.
Yep.
What do you think is the fair asking price if you're stepping onto, probably not onto, sitting next to the negotiating table?
Just sitting next to it, yeah? Just talking to the table.
Sitting there.
Answer the question, Sam.
No, I don't think Liverpool would turn down an 80 million bid. I think if it came in, I think they'd accept.
In which case, he's not worth 130 million. But if Liverpool don't want to sell and they want to force a hand, then he is. But 80 million would be a fair price.
Okay. I'm getting 60 mils here, 50 mil max from Fergus O'Connor.
Is he
Joe Ross says 130 mil. He's
laughing at you.
But he's not understanding what I'm saying, Joe, mate. You got to listen to what I'm saying.
There's another one. Boyster, 100 million easy.
Easy.
So he's more in your ball.
So the world record transfer easily for a player who dots in and out of seasons when he wants.
Yeah. We've got 185 likes. For me,
your top staying on?
My top is staying on.
500 likes, tits out.
No.
Yeah.
500, mate. It doesn't work like that.
It does.
So, and how bizarre is this conversation?
On a webcam.
Well, what have you got? 1,310 watching. If you all like
it simultaneous.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
You literally will get tits on tits.
We'll give you 1 minute of Romario chat, and that's your lot.
All right.
You need to get to 500.
You need to like quickly.
Right, Romario. There is a video on the Bull Street channel. It's our latest update. It's also an announcement video, which is very exciting. We have our 8th team in the Fan League tournament.
For those that don't know what you're talking about, what is the Fan League Cup?
Fair point. Fan League Cup is a tournament full of the biggest YouTubers on the planet. Yes, I said planet. But fortunately, they're all based around the London and England area, which is a result. But yeah, we've got massive channels in it. Arsenal Fan TV, Daniel Cutting's Freestylers FC, Creators FC, who we've played before, and have got some massive YouTubers, Cap Gunton,
Palmer's.
Reeve used to play for him, AJ Free, Palmer's, the original
too many to name.
Team on YouTube. Yeah, 8 teams. That are all there. Cheeky Sport are there as well, Full Time Devils. and it's very, very exciting. So we've got our 8th team, which is Thames Ironworks Community Football Club, which is inspired by West Ham Fan TV, and they're giving away a shirt on the trial video that we have on the Bull Street channel. That's going up way too quickly.
It's flying up.
I'm slightly worried. Let's wrap this up. So if you want to win a shirt, if you're a West Ham fan, you want to watch that trial video, you can also see a player called Romario who features in that trial.
Do you reckon Romario is freaking out a little bit? Because
I am.
So remember 500, you get to see James's tits.
I've never seen likes moving this fast.
Listen. So we've done these trials. We need to find 3 additional players for our Bull Street team because we're a good team, but we need to find a couple of decent players. And we gave away a competition. 3 players could get involved. We had the standard was very high. Go and watch that video now. You can see well, actually, there's a bit of a twist because it wasn't free. We ended up taking because the standard was that high. But we got a guy who was essentially Harry
Romario's in the trial. Is it the Brazilian Romario? I don't know. You'd have to click on the video to check it out, wouldn't you?
So that's almost clickbaiting without a link. It's weird.
Yeah.
Don't give him everything.
Yeah.
No, but look, Romario. These are the facts. Romario plays in it. Do we sign him? Again, you need to check out that video to find out.
All right, so
let's talk some more football for a few minutes. Yeah? Anything else?
This feels a bit leggy now.
Yeah, it feels a bit breasty.
So, thanks for your efforts in getting to 500. You won't this time get to see James's breasts, but we'll engineer some other situation before. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Sam, for
Thank you so much for letting me be
talking.
To split up, I'm in the middle of flames here.
And remember to subscribe to Bull Street.
Yeah. Just to say, if you've enjoyed this live video, we're trying to do a few more. Yes, we had a little moment with the technical stuff, but if you have enjoyed it, then give this video a like because it does give us a clear indication that you have enjoyed it and we can do it again.
They are asking to wait for 150 more.
Keep stalling.
It's so weird. Right, that's it.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
No.
Give me
500.
Just a little.
We're not going to get to 500.
Exactly.
Show him your tits.
Just a little slip.
We'll be back again. Let us know in the comments below what you think about this, and we'll see you next time. Subscribe to Bull Street for the Fan League Cup because it's going to be wicked.